The past no longer waited in town, it called from the north. Changyu and Yan Zheng left the familiar alleys and crowded streets behind, their horses kicking up dust on the road that led toward the unknown. They rode toward ruins and answers, carrying only a blade, a promise, and the weight of two families' silenced truths. Each mile stretched the silence between them, filled only by the rhythmic beat of hooves on the hard-packed earth. Changyu's eyes were fixed on the horizon, her grip tight on the reins, while Yan Zheng scanned their surroundings, his senses on high alert. The further they rode, the more the world seemed to fade into shades of gray and brown, a desolate landscape that mirrored the emptiness in their hearts. They were leaving behind any semblance of a normal life, choosing instead this path of vengeance and discovery. They knew the journey would be perilous, but they also knew they couldn't turn back. The ghosts of their families wouldn't let them. Suddenly, the quiet was shattered. The hunters had become the hunted. From the shadows of the rocks and withered trees, figures emerged, clad in black, their blades glinting with malice. They struck hard and fast, a whirlwind of steel and lethal intent. Their goal was clear: to overwhelm, to divide, to conquer. Arrows whistled through the air, forcing Changyu and Yan Zheng to break formation. It was a well-executed trap, designed to tear the two apart. Yan Zheng parried a flurry of blows, his sword a silver arc in the dim light, but he was being pushed back, outnumbered. Seeing him cornered, Changyu made a split-second decision. She spurred her horse forward, drawing the attention of half their attackers. She chose to run to draw death away from him, giving him a chance to fight, a chance to live. He saw her go, a fleeting silhouette against the bleak sky, and understood her sacrifice. He chose to survive not just for himself, but to find her again. He fought with a desperate ferocity, a promise echoing in every clang of his blade. He would not fail her. He would find her. The hours that followed were a blur of exhaustion and gnawing fear. After breaking free from his attackers, Yan Zheng pushed onward, following the faint tracks left by Changyu's horse. Every snapped twig, every disturbed patch of dirt, fueled his hope. He finally spotted it on a distant ridge, a ruined watchtower, a skeletal finger pointing at the sky. It was a landmark they had noted earlier, a potential rendezvous point. He urged his weary horse into a gallop, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Was she there? Was she safe? He dismounted and climbed the crumbling steps, his sword drawn. In the shadow of broken stone, he found her. She was leaning against a wall, tending to a cut on her arm, but she was alive. The tension in his chest eased in a rush. Fear gave way to relief. Relief gave way to something softer, something he hadn't allowed himself to feel until now. She looked up, her own guarded expression melting away when she saw him. For the first time, they held each other not for survival, not as allies in a fight, but because the alternative was simply unthinkable. As they recovered, Changyu revealed something she'd taken from the leader of the ambush. It was a small, rolled-up piece of parchment, protected by a leather tube. Unfurling it, they saw it was a map fragment, its markings old and cryptic. But one symbol stood out, a sigil they both recognized with a chilling certainty. It was the mark of the secret society responsible for their family's demise. This wasn't just a random attack. It was a deliberate attempt to stop them. The map pointed to truth and to the same killers who had already taken so much from them. It led to a location marked with an X, a place called the Cave of Whispering Shadows. A sudden, cold realization washed over them. They were no longer chasing shadows from the past. The shadows were now actively chasing them, closing in from all sides. And the cave waited, a dark maw in the mountainside, holding the answers they desperately sought. And perhaps their end. The journey was far from over. It had only just begun. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. The Cave Calls.